Videos about the VonHaus 1400 watt electric tiller rotavator. I've bought it a while back. I bought one initially and it broke, so I sent it back, and this one's broke as well. And luckily I've realised, did a bit of searching online, couldn't find a YouTube video, which is why I'm doing one now, but I found a company that sold a drive belt for this machine. So this machine isn't direct drive. I've bought some before that are quite cheap, and they were direct drive, and I've broken two now, I think, just because cogs have broken inside them. The gears, the sort of nylon gears, are broken. But this thing's actually got a drive belt, so I've ordered the drive belt from a company called Drive Belt Solutions. And if you type in Drive Belt Solutions and actually look for the electric tiller itself, it's got the particular drive belt for this particular model, which is great. But the problem that happens, you can hear it, the motor's working. If I just fire it up, but the tills aren't actually turning at all. So anyway, we'll crack this open and hopefully fix it. Okay, so stage one, we're going to get these screws out here, 4 at the top to get the first case off. Okay, done that, so we should be able to lift this off now. There we go. And step 2, we need to remove these screws here and here, and also these screws at the top here and here to get this grey panel off. See the motor there inside. Okay, that's those removed now, so that panel just lifts off. Okay, so we can see the motor now, and you can see where the drive belt's going to be. It's underneath here, look, but we're going to have to get all of this gubbins off first to get to it. But no issues whatsoever. Right, next thing to do, I've removed a sort of retaining screws here and here, so this can lift out now. And we want to be a bit careful with this gubbins here. We don't want any of these wires being pulled out. I've removed a little sneaky screw at the back there, and then the final 4 screws are here, here, and here. Oh, there we go. Here and here. So I'll get those screws out, and that should allow us to get this big bit of plastic out as well. We're also going to remove these bolts here, and that will allow us to lift this big bit of plastic, this big chunky bit of plastic off, because we're going to need to get in at this motor here. So bolts here, retaining screws there, screw at the back, and then the 4 screws here, 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 and here. So I'll pause the video, get that done, and that should allow us to get at the casing underneath. I've removed those bolts and or the nuts rather, and the screws. So removing the nuts should allow me to lift this off. Got to be a bit careful now with the cable assembly. We don't want to rip that out. So watch me mess this up now. There we are. That's off, and I'll just carefully place that to the side. It is attached obviously to this cable, so I need to be a bit careful here. Let's just put that down. There we go. Okay, just being careful of this cable here. There we go. Great loads of stuff in my shed. Okay, apologies for that. Right, there we are. So that's that off, and now we should be able to lift this off now as well. I've removed all the screws. Yes, we can. It's just again being careful with these cables. We don't want them to rip out of the motor, otherwise we're in big trouble. There we go. A bit more space. Brilliant. So now we've got the motor uncovered here. So what we need to do now is to take the motor out. And the way we're going to do that, is we're going to undo these screws here, and I've already undone, in fact, these screws here, here, and there's a sneaky little one at the back as well there. So we'll get rid of those. I've done those 3 already. I'll get these 2 done, and then we'll lift off and have a look and see at this this drive belt. Okay, so that's those screws removed, so we should find now, if we lift that up, and show that to the camera. So there's the drive belt. This is the thing that makes this electric tiller way better than any others that I've bought. it's got a drive belt. It's not direct drive. So, and there we are. So we'll find that's actually shredded. So rather than breaking some nylon gear that I can't replace, I can order a new one of these and we're quids in. So I've got my new one now. I'll get that out. I can see I've got to undo. Let's have a look. That screw there, that screw there, that screw there. I'm hoping that'll just lift off then, and then I can put the new drive belt in and attach it again. Okay. Okay, so taking those screws out, you can see there's my gear that attaches to the actual rotavating bit itself, and there's the gear for the motor. Here's my drive belt. So hopefully, if it's the right size, that should, it does, just connect in there, and then we can start screwing things back up, and then hopefully I haven't wasted half an hour of my life, and I will have a working rotavator again. Okay, so that's the new drive belt put in, so hopefully should fix this now. I've just noticed, having a bit of fiddle trying to put it back together again, there's this piece here that can come loose. There's nothing holding it in. It just slots in there in the gear mechanisms down below in the hole that attaches to the actual tills, I think they're called. Tills? Not sure. These bits at the bottom here anyway, and then into this bit here. So it's a bit fiddly. It's just moving that round in there until it slots down into place, and then you can slot that on top and get the motor put back in and start screwing everything back up again in reverse order. So I'll leave it now. I'll try and get all that done, and then hopefully we'll have a working rotavator at the end. So excitement is palpable. It's all reassembled. I've used up all of the screws. There's none left, so that's always a bonus, isn't it, when you put stuff back together again. And hopefully now we shall see. I really don't know whether it's going to work or not, but I do. Yeah! So we've got it working again now, which is awesome. Fair play to it, because I've got a huge area that I want to turn into wildflower meadow, like that bit there. So hand lifting turf would have been a bit of a nightmare. So there we have it, VonHaus 1400 watt rotavator working again, and it's a beast of a machine, to be fair. If you haven't actually bought one of these and are thinking of buying one, then go with this one, because fair play VonHaus, it's very powerful and great that it's this drive belt, not direct drive. 10 quid it cost me, that drive belt, and I've really hammered this. It's had stones and everything caught in it, which, as I say, has ended the life of the two previous ones I bought, but this thing should keep going forever, hopefully. And there concludes the video.